Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Frieren. Hey guys, well, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 19 of season 1 of Frieren, and oh boy, I don't know how I feel about our group being separated. We're here for the first class mage exam, and we're meeting different mages, so that's really freaking cool. Frieren is with Kana and Lavina, who work well together, but like fight a lot. And Lavina's not the nicest to Kana, but Kana, like, I don't know, just really seeks validation from her. And they've worked well together, so I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. But Frieren notices this too. She thought it was just going to be utter chaos and violence the whole time. And she's like, you guys work well together. Interesting. And Kana also noticed the sound of rain outside of the barrier. So I know that Frieren's using that for something, which I'm like, I don't know, does that like calm the Stilla? So does it, I don't know. I was in games and I really need to like not let my mind go to a malicious place when it comes to this show. Something though that someone who is mildly malicious is Ubel, and I don't like that she's been paired up with Fern. Fern is a third class mage, which she was the youngest one to do so, to obtain that third class mage status. I don't know how old Ubel is, but she doesn't look incredibly old, and she's a second class mage, and she's killed like a lot of people. Like Croft had to actually save thieves because she wouldn't just beat them up like Croft did. She would have killed them, like she did some other, people in the woods. And Croft was definitely like, I'm just trying to save as many people as I can because, girl, you're going to kill him. And then especially when walking away, when he notes that like Frieren and her will be there for the same thing in Oysurst. He's like, that's going to make for a great story when I see Frieren next time. So I like, one, that he's thinking about next time, two, that he is thinking about Frieren, but also three, that he definitely thinks that Frieren is going to be fine if she runs into Ubel or has to fight Ubel for anything, which I think Ubel might be a thorn in our side. Again, I don't know with this series because it has a tendency of making me think that Heiter is going to be evil. And then he turns out to be like one of my favorite people that we talk about besides Himmel, granted, they're the two people that are dead. So obviously, memories of them are, I don't want to say way more important, but they have a lot more power behind them. I don't think Ubel is going to all of a sudden be like this upstanding citizen by any means, but I definitely think she's going to be a problem. And especially with Fern, working with Frieren and then maybe seeing somebody who is a little too relaxed about things or is trying to make a name for herself, because we've learned Frieren doesn't do that. She doesn't throw her name around. She likes to be secretive, and that's actually helped her win. It helped her beat Aura because Aura didn't know she existed. I want to know what the Holy Emblem thing is, and like when they're going over the other mages that are in the class, I wrote their names down because Verbel looks pretty freaking cool. And the fact that he has been fighting like remnants of the Demon King. We want him on our side. And then Denkin, who is a second class mage, and he passed it with flying colors, which, we know becoming a first class mage is incredibly hard, but they're not introducing us to these people for no reason. Just saying. So I'm excited to see how the other teams work, how they capture the Stilla. How Fern works with Ubel because I think Frieren is she's a good egg. I think that Stark is a good egg, and sometimes Fern is really stern with those two that, like, I wonder how she's going to treat Ubel. Is she going to be intimidated by her, or is she going to be like, hey, knock it the F off, like, what are you doing? That's where I want Fern to be a little bit more stern, is with these strangers or the people that like really deserve it, not the people that are in our group that like she should be able to kind of relax around a little bit. But I'm interested to see how we pass this exam, how we continue to work with Kana and with I forgot her name again, Lavina, and then of course the other groups and how they work. And I don't think I'm going to get much from Stark especially because if they're isolated in this testing thing that's kind of covered with a bubble, like I don't think he has access to it. So I'm gonna miss him a little bit, but I'm eager to see how this all goes because Frieren's amazing, Fern's amazing, Ubel's scary. Our girls work really well together. Like, so we got a lot that's like good, and then we got some stuff that I'm like, I want to see how this plays out because Ubel is somebody that I'm worried about. So guys, let's go. I don't know what that was, but let's go.
The first class mage exam will begin momentarily. You will not be tested on your own, but as a party. The 57 exam takers will be split up into groups of 3.
Oh, yep, just a little recap there. Okay. So what are we going to do about the rain, Frieren? Or the rain sound? We're going to make it rain outside?
Lavina's rough around the edges, but she somehow always pulls me along.
It's a weird way to get praise, but it works,
Tomorrow,
I guess.
we're finally going to fight our first dragon. You're shaking, Eisen. Don't tell me you're scared.
Of course he is. It's a dragon. Yeah.
You are?
Deeply.
Aww. Himmel didn't expect that.
I'm scared too.
How motivational.
Oh, geez, Frieren.
I feel far less nervous. Be yourself. It's you we've followed, Himmel. Every party needs something different. We would choose your voice over a script.
Absolutely. Thank you, Hyder. I never get tired of the flashbacks. Not once, not ever.
Why are you so relaxed?
Even Birdie knows we're only just getting started, right?
They got that Stilla really quick.
Our new goal is to keep the other parties from taking our Stilla.
Other
At
parties
last,
can take
time
it?
to spill blood.
Oh my god, Ubel, you are dark.
Well, we confirmed what you already told us, that they fly faster than the speed of sound. There's no way we could ever
Dope.
dream of chasing one down. Plus, the little things are tough as dragons, so common attack spells have no effect on them at all. Most restraints are useless.
What do they eat?
Even when we've suppressed our power to approach them, they feel us and fly away.
Great way to prove that you're a great mage.
A problem far bigger than any of those is that because the Stilla have practically no mana themselves, we don't have anything to try and detect.
Yesterday morning, we saw 3. If there aren't any more than that, we could be in trouble.
Only 3 for all 57 people?
Even if we defy the odds and find one somehow, we don't have any idea how to catch it.
After you went to sleep last night, I stayed up and experimented with a spell that might be useful for getting our hands on a Stilla.
Okay.
It was made for capturing birds. A tribe of hunters developed it long ago, the perfect example of a folk spell. In their
Okay.
era, magic and mages were far more common than they are today.
So an old spell is what they would have to use.
Folk magic is rather loose. As long as your target resembles a bird, the spell should cooperate. If it could
Interesting.
restrain that mighty beast, I think it should work fine on the Stilla.
I think so too.
The spell's range is roughly 50 centimeters, so we would have needed to be close enough to touch it.
We can't get close enough right now.
How close have we gotten to one so far?
About 3 meters was the closest. The more concerning part is that we haven't been able to get within 20 before they picked up on our mana.
We're just
Interesting.
one piece away from solving the puzzle.
Is it collective mana?
There are a million ways ice magic could slow down a normal foe, but ours is sensitive to mana and resistant to freezing. I fear it would escape before we could attempt to fix it in place.
Is the rain the answer?
My magic can only control water that's already there. Nifty as it would be, I can't create water out of nothing.
Well, we have a whole lake.
My best bet would be to find a lake or stream. Of course, mana struggles to penetrate large bodies of water, but I could infuse it with my mana well before we're planning our big move. Then, no matter how
Interesting.
much water there is, even if it's scattered like rain, I can manipulate it.
Interesting.
Instilling the water with mana would definitely make the mana-sensitive Stilla stay away.
You're right. They would
That means
stay
you can.
away.
They could push it into a particular direction.
I have a plan that just might work.
Oh, good. Tell us. No. Share with everyone. No. They're gonna show it instead
It's
of
not a
say
bad
it.
idea, but we would certainly be taking a risk. If we do this, we'll be picking a fight with all the other teams.
But
Oh.
I don't think we could catch one otherwise.
Are we stealing somebody's Stilla?
Are you scared?
Apprehensive. Oh! Gosh, like Frieren said, every party's different.
We should lay low and stay hidden until the test is over.
Boo, that's no fun at all. Mages shouldn't tuck themselves away because they're too scared to fight.
They also shouldn't fight because they're too reckless to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what happens next, I'm glad we caught a Stilla so quickly.
Yeah, how did we
If
do
we can
that,
remain
though?
in the shadows until sunset, we'll pass the first test.
I'm afraid it won't be that easy.
No.
I thought this gravel was a road at first, but it's actually a dried-up riverbed. Unfortunately, this isn't the first one we've come across.
So it hasn't rained here?
They're standard for these sorts of tests. Physical barriers so strong, not a speck of dust could bleed through.
Or river water?
Judging by the dryness, I'd guess this barrier was erected over a week ago.
We test takers need water to stay active. It's like they're exploiting the fact we're living creatures.
Fair observation, but needing water doesn't necessarily mean gathering around the lake.
True.
Because we can carry water with us. But the Stilla, which are also living creatures, cannot.
That's a good point.
Gotta water your bird.
It's safe to assume that they're lying in ambush around the bank as we speak.
Oh.
We'll give up on finding water.
I haven't had anything to drink in ages. Do you want your poor teammate to shrivel up and die?
I mean, you, maybe. Ooh. Okay. Okay, Fern. She's so excited and happy to fight. Well, that was really sexy. And this guy... I'm excited. I think they gave us names, but I already forgot them.
I'm surprised you could react so quickly. Just leave the cage with the Stilla inside.
And what if I tell you no?
Then I guess we don't have any need for words.
Yeah, you two fight. Leave Fern out of it.
That came from the lake.
What exactly are we doing? I'm normally really good at picking up things, but... She's freezing the lake. If anyone wants any water...
This mana is from a member of the second party. What could they be thinking? These jokers looking to make 50 new enemies?
Or, hand over the Stilla and I'll unfreeze the water.
Come on, give it all you've got! If you can't melt it, we're done for!
Wow.
After such a showy display of magic, the Stilla won't come anywhere near this lake again. We have no choice but to steal. And if the second party was bold enough to pull this stunt, there is no doubt they will soon have one for the taking.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Frieren's just wandering around.
Mistress Frieren, what could you possibly be doing?
Don't worry about her. She got this.
I say we scatter for now.
Yeah, good idea.
Hurry up!
They're still trying. You're gonna exhaust your mana.
Foolish they are.
Yeah.
Ready to go? Yeah, that way.
Those sharp enough to put that together are busy scanning the terrain for other watering holes. But their mana detection is inadequate.
Oh.
Apparently the second party went crazy and froze the lake. Are they trying to sabotage the exam?
This is the second party's well-laid plan.
I'm glad that Duncan
And
can see
until we
this.
can figure out what that plan is, we won't get anywhere.
I wonder how many Stilla there are. Because what is 57? Let's see. Trying to think about how many groups there are. There's 19
This is the work
groups?
of monsters.
Wow.
No helping them now.
That's crazy that an exam like this you could die in.
You can see the beasts, can't you? They're circling above us right now.
Oh,
Not just-
that's what it would have done?
If we tried to move them, they would know we're here.
Thank God this guy's in your group.
They used the remains of one victim to lure in the next. This
Geisel.
party was so naive as to fall for their trap, and look where it got them.
Wow. It's, yeah.
This is obviously your first time taking the exam, Laufin. Their reason is rather simple. Anyone who is killed on a stage like this is unqualified to be first class.
It's not wrong.
For many of them, the idea of what a mage should be was cemented long ago by the noble few who took down the Demon King's army.
Just a Stilla right there.
I thought of all people, you would be the one to take their side.
The quality of a mage is irrelevant.
Oh.
Strength means nothing if a mage can't act as that symbol. In the real world, casting spells weighs much less than winning hearts. I've seen countless mages far more skilled than myself fall from grace and be persecuted by the same people who once celebrated them.
I guess.
And ruled by fear can only last so long. Neither magic nor strength should be put on a pedestal.
Well, he convinced me very quickly.
So, someone as weak as you is perfect for the job.
He's not weak.
You would be wise to watch your tongue, whelp. I could beat you to a pulp with my hands restrained and eyes closed.
I believe him. Is this a trap? He sure is. So did they just, like, find other bodies of water that they can take the people's Stillas if they've captured them? So far, we've only seen one group actually capture a Stilla.
Good at concealing their mana, at the very least.
There's been something eerily similar about every watering hole we've come across.
What's that? It's new?
I can't pick up on anything. Strange. Can you?
Not even a little.
Interesting.
There's such a small amount of mana here that I highly doubt even the caster could successfully detect it. But the Stilla could sense it without difficulty. They won't be coming near this water again.
That's so smart.
There must be an untouched watering hole somewhere.
Yep.
The testing area is enormous. It would be impossible to find a mage who truly doesn't want to be found.
True.
They'll have to show us where they are soon enough.
Okay, Duncan is really smart.
I poured mana into every pond I could find. I guess there could be other ones we don't know about, though.
True. Making it smaller.
I had no idea that mana was something a mage could completely turn off.
Oh, did that
No,
just
not
happen?
Completely.
Okay.
Even the slightest movement causes some mana to eke out. Sense it?
Not at all, actually.
Wow.
Provided she can handle that.
Oh, shut up.
These two.
If it rained, I could take down just about anybody.
Kind of like sisters, I swear. I thought they were gonna like make it rain because that soothes the Stilla, but instead they're making all creatures come here for a little sippy sip. Such a smart idea to put mana in all the water and limit the water that the Stilla could drink from. Why, hello, Mr. Beast. It can ignore her because she's keeping her mana in. Wow. No threat there. Stilla time. Nice!
Wow, Frieren, did you catch it?
Did you?
Now we're gonna pass the first test with flying colors!
Maybe.
Or not.
Yeah, now you have to defend yourselves.
One of their members had to use magic. No mage, no matter how skilled they might be, can fully conceal their mana as they wield it.
Oh!
Someone's detected us.
Wow, she is quick!
Well, you're certainly quick. So much for getting away from here.
Now, Jubilata.
Jubilata? Oh, God!
Duragat.
It's like a cannon.
Good job, Fern.
She keeps backing off.
Oh, ho!
Her technique is refined and near seamless.
I love it.
I was taught from a very young age to only use basic spells during combat.
This philosophy's coming from your master, then?
She said the basics are enough to defeat mages of this era.
Oh, yeah?
See? Basic.
You're going to struggle. If you try to take on verbal with this technique, you would be dead after the first blow.
I don't know.
I thought you were the strongest one here. Or was I wrong?
Well, that was telling. Does she think that Verbal is stronger than her?
Verbal and his men took on the remnants of the Demon King's army. He's captain of the
Remnants.
Northern Magic Corps.
Well, Frieren killed the Demon King, so there's that.
I pity the girl who's up against him now.
I don't.
She'll surely be killed.
Is that so?
And
Oh! Every time I get hit with a ton of bricks, every time an episode ends, I feel like I have 20 minutes left, and they're just like, nah, we're gonna cut you off here. Fine, let's talk about it, and then I'm gonna watch another episode. Okay, so, first of all, I love that this is all mages, so it's all magic, but the magic that I have seen from Fern and Frieren are not even remotely the same type of magic that all these other mages are using. As a matter of fact, like, one of the mages, I want to say that the one that she is talking to is Ure, maybe? Ure feels like she's, like, fighting, like, a brand new mage that's, like, just learned magic because she's using the most basic and simple of spells. And, you know, Frieren taught her these for a reason, and it's because they work. And it's defensive spells and offensive for that matter. So, you know, you could look at it one of two ways. It could be like a brand new mage who that's all she knows. And the fact that, like, Fern has already passed a 3rd class mage exam, like, means that she had the skills to get to that. So, you know, it's not always knowing the most tricky of spells, but, like, the ones that work the best. And it's not as though Frieren is going to teach her something that she can't use. She very much can use the spells that she does because she's defeated. Like, she defeated demons that, like, you know, were strong and powerful. Well, a demon that was strong and powerful. But, you know, I'm curious because where they're, like, saying that, like, almost like new spells, new magic is really the thing that's going to help you win a battle or the exam. Then we also have Denkin, who is, like, saying that that being lost or, like, being not remembered, not making a name for yourself could make people turn against you because they would see you differently because you don't have a story that they recognize, or, you know, that's kind of what I'm getting, which is really funny because if you look at Himmel, like, his statues are everywhere and no one is forgetting Himmel. So you could say that that's true. But then you have someone like Frieren who fought alongside Himmel, and I jokingly say, like, why doesn't she just name drop everywhere she goes? Because that would get her in places. You know, she's doing what Flamma taught her, which is to kind of be obscure, because if people don't know you exist and people don't know how strong you are and they don't know your history, then you'll always have one up on them every single time. So I mildly agree with him that it's nice to, like, leave your mark so people know who you are. And we saw Frieren imprisoned because no one knew who she was. And then it's revealed, like, and also Graf Granit was, like, noticing that she wasn't killing, like, a guard or whatever, but like to me, I'm like, oh, if you name dropped, then that wouldn't have happened. So you can kind of see it both ways when it comes to Frieren. I find that to be very interesting. And a lot of these mages are interesting because there's a whole group that got killed. And I was just like, that's nuts that they would have, like, a test that could possibly kill you. But if you're not ready and prepared to take the exam, I don't think death should be the consequence of that. I feel like you get stunned or something, or, like, you're in a coma for, like, a week or whatever it might be, and so it's like, yeah, you're out of the game. Like, we're not doing this anymore. You're no longer in the exam. But, like, death is, like, crazy. But, you know, it then again says that you shouldn't even be here. It's beyond your level. I don't know what the levels were of those other mages, but they started class 5. So if you're a class 5 and you're going straight to class 1, like, why aren't you doing 3? Why aren't you doing 2? Fern did it because it was, like, the one where the date was the closest for her, but, like, could she have done 2nd class mage? Could she have done 1st class mage? And I was, like, really, I don't want to say surprised, but, like, thrown off by the plan that Frieren came up with, because I thought it had something to do with the rain. Obviously, the rain is, you know, being kept out from the barrier, and the river water is being kept out from the barrier. So there's only certain places where you can actually get a drink of water. And mainly, it would have been that big lake. I didn't really catch that. I was like, oh no, like the rain is going to be like a sound that calms the Stilla or it hides mana. Not in this case. Let's just, every water source, let's just fill with a little bit of mana that the Stilla can detect, and they won't come near it. And Frieren being able to like really almost nearly turn off her mana to the fact where Lavina can't even like sense it. Even when she moves, she's like, no, nothing. Like, there's nothing there. Like, that's how good Frieren is at hiding that. The fact that, like, wildlife came up next to her and, like, took a drink. The Geisel came up and took a drink, like something that she had fought before. And, you know, and then the Stilla just, like, lands on her shoulder. It's just like, zoop. You know, like, if we are to go back to the argument of why are you only using basic spells, you can see that Frieren doesn't do anything super fancy. She has a spell that captures birds, and she can hide her mana or like turn it off almost to be undetected, all which seems very basic. Now, easy for me to say, I don't do that, so I wouldn't know, but like it's the most basic things that, you know, make her impossible to be detected by anyone magical or any animal that can sense mana. But then also, like, we've never seen her do something so overly complicated spell-wise and not win. Like when she fought the monster that Zine was trying to fight, and, you know, she used a basic spell. You know, so I feel like she's correct. The basics are the thing that gets you through it the best. And if you try, it's kind of like, it's like a dunk contest, right? I know this is a weird example, but like if you just do like a really long, high-flying, very simple, just dunk, like it looks amazing. But if you're trying to go like between the legs, spin in the air and go up and, you know, do whatever, there's always a risk that you're not going to be able to dunk the ball properly or it doesn't pay off. Right? So the more complicated you make something or the more flashy you make something, the less likely it is that it's not going to succeed the way that you want it to. So control the controllable and control the knowable. I'm kind of, whose side would I be on besides Fern and Frieren? I mean, come on. But it's really interesting to meet these other characters and kind of see like their reaction, especially Denkin, to like, just seeing things like they're very lucky that he's in this group because they were like, well, let's do something about these bodies. And he's just like, no, it's just like, and that's why Frieren said, like, make sure you keep your head up, like, make sure that, like, you check the skies. And it's because he knew to look up. He knew about the mana that they had placed on these bodies and he knew the risks. And he's just like, nope, got to keep going. You know, he's very sage, very wise, but interestingly enough, I'm kind of like, I disagree with him about some things and I agree with him with others, but then I have examples of where he is completely wrong, where yes, Himmel is remembered and there's statues everywhere, and if he were still alive, they would never try to like persecute him because they know who he is. And then you have Frieren, who's lived most of her life in obscurity, that keeps her name off people's lips, and you know, it's almost better for her, I don't want to say to get away with stuff, but to live to where no one will go in with like knowledge of who she is. Now, unfortunately, if she passes the first mage exam, that'll be written down somewhere and they'll be like, who's Frieren? Why is she a first class mage? Like, who is this person? Tell me more about her. And that's not living in obscurity. So, I don't know what the holy emblem? I don't know what that meant. Like, there's so many questions that need to be answered, but I am so into this first class mage exam, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. But guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon in watch-along format. You do need your own copy, but in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. What did you think of the test and their plan? Because I was kind of like, I don't get it. Got it. Great plan. Especially because I'm typically good at like seeing things before they happen, and I wouldn't have been able to guess that, and that was fantastic. What a great reveal. And a lot of the other characters, just seeing different mages with different attitudes and different types of magic and movements and philosophies, like that makes me really excited to delve more into that. So I'm going to watch the next episode here. I'm so sorry. you do have to wait. But if you're currently watching this on YouTube, I'm at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon, if not more. But if you want to just keep watching on YouTube, it should be the next one that comes up. So guys, come back here for that. And in the meantime, I'll see ya.